Oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, everyone's least favorite comic book / movie reviewer decided to grace my For You page today with his presence. That's right, I'm talking about Ranting for Vengeance. Give it up for the Sultan of Slop himself. And oh boy, does he have quite the video for me to react to. Now, if you don't know who Ranting for Vengeance is, then he's basically the newest addition to the anti-woke grift squad. He's basically Andy Pants Gaming, but if Andy Pants Gaming looked at like comic books and superhero movies instead of video games, and he was way more obvious about not liking gay people. I mean, according to Ranting for Vengeance, Avengers Doomsday will be a woke disaster, The Batman Part 2 will be a woke disaster, and Spider-Man Brand New Day will be, you guessed it, a woke disaster. All of these movies haven't come out yet, and he's judging them for extremely arbitrary reasons. But all of these videos pale in comparison to what I call his pinnacle of garbage. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you, James Gunn is a freak who doesn't understand superhero movies. Let's hop right on in.
Fantastic Four is a flop, as I predicted in my videos before the movie even came out, and it seems that Superman is going down the same route.
I don't know what people are talking about when they say Superman 2025 was a flop, when it made around $615 million, which far surpassed its production budget of $225 million.
But an army of freaks, along with the mega handicapped freak James Gunn, are coping about it. Also, across the internet, many clips from the behind the scenes of Superman have gone viral because it's revealing James Gunn to be a massive spastic, and a lot of fans are realizing.
You know, when he said that behind the scenes clips of Superman were going viral, I thought he was going to say that it exposed James Gunn for being like a huge douche or a creepy dude, but instead he says that he's a quote-unquote spastic, and that a lot of his fans are realizing this, yet I haven't heard a single thing about James Gunn being a quote-unquote spastic.
But before we get into it, if you like these videos and you want to help out the channel, maybe consider subscribing or supporting me over on Patreon. So I've made enough goddamned videos about Superman and Fantastic Four.
Yeah, you're telling me, bro, you have like 5 separate videos on Superman, bro. Holy glazing.
But this is a video I want to make because I want to highlight the fact that James Gunn does not understand superheroes. He does not understand filmmaking. He doesn't understand Superman. He does not understand the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Clearly, Ranting for Vengeance is not the fan he makes himself out to be, as a big thing with superheroes is that they help people, and James Gunn's Superman does just that, with many people saying that Superman 2025 is one of the most comic-accurate portrayals of Superman, right behind Richard Donner's Superman, All-Star Superman, etc., etc. Also, why did he add like a little gay flag on Star-Lord? And I don't mean gay flag as in like, oh, that's not cool, that's gay, like a middle schooler. I mean like he added like a gay pride flag on Star-Lord. He does realize that Star-Lord was in a relationship with Gamora, right?
The fact that he's at the head of DC is so retarded, it's hilarious. But before I show you the absolute state of comic book superhero fans and the behind the scenes of Superman, first of all, I just need to get it out there that I don't care what you say, I will never ever tolerate James Gunn's freaky behavior. And I'm not alone in that. You can say what you want about this movie and you can attack people who disagree with you, but the plain and simple fact is, James Gunn is a freak who likes kids.
So, if you have no idea what the hell Ranting for Vengeance is talking about, allow me to enlighten you. Basically, back in the late 2000s and early 2010s, James Gunn made a lot of edgy jokes about sensitive topics such as rape, pedophilia, AIDS, 9/11, etc. These were all made on Twitter. And when these jokes were uncovered and publicized, he made a public apology about how that's not the person who he is, and how he was, you know, a different man back then. This was before James Gunn became a household name. And because of these tweets, James Gunn was fired by Disney, but then the whole cast of Guardians of the Galaxy publicly rallied around him and said, you know, we support him. Obviously, you know, the jokes were in poor taste, but that's not the man who he is now. And he was eventually rehired by Disney. He made Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and it banged.
I'll never ever give up on that. I'll never get tired of saying it, because some things in life are just a plain and simple fact, and this is one of them. Not to mention that his movies are also freaky woke pieces of shit. Every single one of them. There's no defending it. I've watched most of this guy's movies. They all suck.
It's hilarious to me that Ranting for Vengeance, a guy who has made his entire identity about hating cancel culture and the woke mob, quote unquote, is doing exactly what the woke mob does, where he digs up edgy jokes that someone made in like 2009 or something and tries to like spin some type of narrative out of it.
They're never accurate to the characters or the comics, and he usually creates something brand new, weird and freaky for himself. And this is when we get onto Superman, where he just decided to ditch Superman and bring in some gay cock, which you already know if you manage to watch this absolute abomination.
Another thing that Ranting for Vengeance tends to do is call random characters gay. For example, he calls David Cornsweat a gay cuck, despite the fact that A, Ranting for Vengeance looks more like a cuck than anyone I've ever seen, and B, David Cornsweat mocks this greasy bastard in pretty much every conceivable way.
But the behind the scenes really gets down to the root of this garbage.
He starts saying, I don't know if I feel this.
The whole crew's sitting around waiting like, come on, let's shoot, let's get this done.
So great, but the is it am I just demonstrating? So if I say that's what it is to be human, that feels like I'm trying to prove it still, as opposed to I really know it.
Okay, I'm gonna have to stop it there because already it's extremely retarded. It's unbelievably cringe that they're hyping up this moment as if it is the best thing ever made. And David Cornsweat, I don't really have anything massive against the guy, but he comes to James Gunn and immediately James Gunn is laughing in his face, doing that sneering pedo laugh.
He's laughing. The biggest reach to this video, bro. Biggest reach this entire goddamn video, right? The pedo snare. Okay, bro. Pack it up. Get out of here, bro.
There's already a terrible job at directing, where an actor comes to you and says, I don't really feel that this is what the character would do. And you laugh into their face like an absolute handicap.
Oh my god, bro. I'm pretty sure the grease in this guy's hair is seeping into his brain, right? At what point does James Gunn get up and laugh in David Cornsweat's face, bro? Did we watch the same footage? It just looks like he's smiling, he laughs a little bit, and then David Cornsweat talks to him, bro. I don't know what this guy's on about, bro. He has to be schizophrenic or something, because there's no way that we watched the same video and came to the same conclusion.
But all that aside, when Cornsweat himself is actually trying to talk with him, he starts putting on this voice, which is not Superman. I don't know what it is. It's an autistic teenager that needs to stop using Adderall and TikTok.
Oh my god, bro. It's called acting, you dingleberry, right? What, was he just supposed to read off the script with a monotone voice? No inflection, no emotion, no nothing. Was he just supposed to be like, and that's what it means to be human, Lex. I am more human than you are. Like, no, the movie would have sucked then, right? I don't get it. This guy makes these really, really weird criticisms and expects people to take him seriously.
If I say that's what it is to be human, that's what it is to be human.
What the fuck?
Really, since when is Superman some weak bitch?
You know, I never really understood that criticism of the Superman movie, that Superman is weak, because the only two times we really see Superman struggling fighting is when A, he was just exposed to kryptonite, and B, he's struggling against Ultraman, who is a literal clone of him and is said to be stronger. So the only times we see him struggling against something in a fight is A, after he was just exposed to his greatest weakness, and B, when he's literally fighting himself.
I really don't like Zack Snyder. I don't like Man of Steel, so I'm not comparing it to that.
It's gotten to a point where I genuinely can't tell what this guy wants from his superhero media, because he hates the Gunn universe, he hates the Snyder universe, he hates Absolute Batman, he hates Man of Steel, he hates Superman 2025, he hates basically everything that DC and Marvel put out, and it's gotten to the point where, like, what do you want, alright? My question is, alright, what are this guy's views on Invincible? Because anyone who likes Invincible can't be all that bad, right? I wonder what this guy's views are.
I'm comparing it to the character of Superman. I've read John Byrne's Man of Steel. I did not hear this squeaky ass voice.
Here's the thing, bro. You're basing your entire perception of a character off of one comic book series, because, you know, most people know that there's like different versions of the same character, right? You have like main Superman, Man of Steel Superman, Injustice Superman, All-Star Superman, Man, you know, etc., etc., and it just goes on and on. So basing your like entire perception of a character off of one singular version, instead of, you know, like looking at all the other characters, you know, seeing what there is to offer, is just kind of stupid, bro.
But anyways, let's continue with this dumpster fire.
Is this not the moment where I go, I was wrong to feel that way?
That's exactly where the issue is, right? Because what he didn't tell you was it was wrong to feel that way. There are feelings and there are thoughts. Your feelings about feeling bad are okay. It's not wrong for you to feel that way. You should just, it's not right or wrong anything. None of it is right or wrong. All of it is being vulnerable.
You know, I'm just gonna make a prediction here and say that Ranting for Vengeance calls this gay.
So everything is not right and wrong. What you're feeling is not right and wrong. It's also right and wrong. Whatever the fuck that means. And also, I'm just saying, if I was David Cornsweet and I make a valid criticism, why the hell am I acting like this in the movie? And your reaction is to stand up and start pushing me, I'd smash your pedo glasses back into your freaky face.
Big fella! Big fella! Sit down, big fella!
Bro, who does this kid think he is? Like, genuinely, bro. He thinks that he's like some sort of fighting god, bro. He thinks he's like one of those guys who's like, yeah, I could probably beat your ass. In fact, if I was getting jumped by like 5 guys, I would backflip over the first guy, she'll push the second guy, then, you know, you get the point, bro. Like, this guy's one of those dudes who's like never been in a fight before, yet thinks that they could take on like the entire continent.
Really, it's not a joke. People like this, when they get too close to you and start spazzing out over feelings, probably just need to be knocked out.
Which means showing Lex that your feelings are hurt. In the point when you really shouldn't.
Okay, new prediction. He's gonna call that gay, alright? Just like the way he zoomed in on the pat on the back, I know he's gonna call it gay.
I'll just pause it again because we have a massive revelation. We know why Superman is some squeaky voiced bitch in the entire movie. Because everything from James Gunn is a self-insert. The dude does not know how to write or make movies. Superman is not Superman in this movie. It's a self-insert of James Gunn.
And you got this all from a pat on the back? What, can you read minds, bro? Can you certify that like James Gunn is a cuck and David Cornsweet is like a gay cuck or whatever?
It's my greatest strength.
Which means showing Lex that your feelings are hurt.
Crypto is not Superman's dog, it's James Gunn's dog. The kind of back and forth troubled relationship is probably like a relationship James Gunn had because he likes kids and had to break up with his wife or something. James Gunn just spat all over your face, spazzing out over feelings. And you're running out there determined, like, okay, now I get it. This explains it, why the movie is absolutely terrible. It's undeniably, objectively, a terrible movie.
Really, bro? Are you sure about that? Like, are you really sure about that? Like, just to clarify, are you really sure about that?
Get scared. I wake up every morning and despite not knowing what to do, I put one foot in front of the other and I try to make the best choices I can. And every time you say that I don't belong, it hurts my feelings. That's being human. And that's my greatest strength.
So, this might be the gayest video ever created.
Listen, man, I'm not sure, but I think you and me have different measures of gayness, you know? Because when I think of gay, I think of men kissing. And last time I checked, there were no men kissing in that video, right? See what I mean? This guy reaches a lot, right? He calls like random stuff gay.
Cornsweet is doing his thing, everybody's watching, and he's just screaming and squeaking like an autistic kid.
Oh my god, bro. Can we go like 5 minutes without the autism criticism, bro? Every time I watch this guy's videos on Superman, it's always just, Superman is gay and autistic, and he's woke, and he fucking sucks, and you shouldn't watch him, bro. Like, come on, can you come up with some better criticism, bro? Like, lock in, alright? You can come up with something good.
And all James Gunn can do is sit there and literally cry. The dude is weeping like a little bitch and doing whatever the hell this is with his face.
Did we watch the same video? Like, genuinely, bro. Like, is the grease from your hair seeping into your brain? I must ask again, because there's no way that we watched the same video, and you, like, saw James Gunn bursting into tears at the sight of David Cornsweet's performance because it was so terrible, bro. Like, I think James Gunn is just happy to see his version of Superman coming to life.
It couldn't be that good. I'm sorry. Did Richard Donner, back when he made Superman the movie, grab Christopher Reeve and go, it's about feelings. What you're feeling is not right or wrong. Then pat him on the back and laugh in his face, and then start weeping on the sideline like a bitch? What the hell is this video? I'm sorry, what the hell is this entire production? Calm the hell down. Hold off on the standing ovations. This is one of the worst superhero performances ever made. And now we get onto the people on the internet who are getting tens of thousands of likes, freaking out, attacking people who don't like this movie.
please, bro, give me one example of someone being attacked because they didn't like Superman, right? Because I guarantee you at least half the people complaining, oh, I've been attacked because I don't like Superman, had like some horrifically abysmal take on Superman, like you right now, and people called them out.
This is directing. He's getting what he wants out of the actor. So let me get this straight. Crying into some dude's face about your feelings is directing. Oh.
And crying on the internet about how a movie is quote-unquote woke is commentary.
Okay, I'll take notes next time. And we have another clip here that's making the rounds. It's just filled with cringe. I'm sorry. The entire thing is more of the same.
Because I didn't make it easy for him.
There's no anger in any of this at all. There's no ego. There's a reason why he's asking these questions, because it makes it better. And David wrote me that night. He texted me. He said, that was my favorite day ever on set with a director. And I said, yeah, I think that was my favorite day too. But that was my favorite day ever on set with a director. And I said, yeah,
I don't know who did the edit on these behind the scenes videos, but they're trying to make it out to be like an epic movie.
That's why it was an epic movie, you dingleberry, right? Why do you think the critic reviews are so high? Why do you think the movie got so much money? It wasn't because the movie was bad, I'll tell you that.
When you watch that scene where he gives the speech about hope and how he's human and how his feelings are hurt, it all gets interrupted when some little gay dog runs in and knocks over the villain. I don't give a rat's ass about some cute little dog. Superman is in the defining moment of his character and the movie, and he's failing at that also. And the takeaway for the queers here on Twitter is that you're just misinterpreting basic human interactions because you don't go outside and you don't talk to people.
Brother, you are the last person to talk about social interaction and going outside, right? You look like a nerdy vampire.
It's always attacking the person and not the argument, because the argument in both clips still stands. James Gunn is an egotistical, narcissistic freak.
Yeah, and your argument for these claims is that he patted someone on the back and that he talked to one of the actors with a little bit of passion in his voice.
All you can do is ignore the criticism, the truth, and start attacking people for not knowing about basic social human interactions.
James Gunn talked to an actor with emotion in his voice and patted him on the back, and somehow, because of all of this, he's some sort of egotistical freak, in your words, right? He is an egotistical freak because he talked to an actor with emotion in his voice and patted him on the back. Does that make you an egotistical freak because you're talking with a lot of emotion right now?
Shove it up your ass.
Hey, yo, self-projecting much?
You have another
Alright, he's gonna call them autistic, gay, or spastic. I'm calling it right now, bro. He's gonna call the person on screen one of those things.
Deluded spastic.
Let's fucking go. I locked in. I called it, bro. I can tell the future. I'm gonna quit YouTube and I'm gonna become a psychic.
We have another stereotypical deluded spastic here, saying that there could not be a better clip to illustrate a director doing his job incredibly well. And of course, half the internet has the opposite takeaway.
Listen, bro. I think you might be the half of the internet that has the opposite takeaway that he's talking about, right? Just a thought. I think you might be the other half of the internet.
Sorry to break it to people like this and people who hate on my videos, but you basically just need to go watch more movies.
Oh, I thought you were gonna call me gay, or autistic, or a spastic, you know, just like one of those three. I thought you were gonna do one of those three things, right? I'm a little shocked, honestly.
From all different time periods, genres, countries, go away and do it. Then come back and talk about how incredible directing is. Because I'm sorry, pal, but you're shit out of luck. This is not it. Pointing into somebody's face and crying about your own self-inserted feelings is not directing.
Nah, bro, I think you need a little more media literacy under your belt, bud. Because according to you, Lex Luthor in Superman is gay, but also an allegory for Trump.
We have another homo here. It's so awesome how no one understands what a director's job is.
Yeah, and you're one of those people, you media illiterate troglodyte. James Gunn is directing a movie, and you're like, nah, that's not real directing. What qualifies you to know what is and isn't real directing?
Nope, I'm pretty sure I know what the director's job is, and their job is to direct the actor to do what they want on film, to do what the character would do from the script or whatever it's based upon.
And that is exactly what James Gunn is doing, you illiterate buffoon. He's telling David Cornsweet, alright, this is what you gotta do, and David Cornsweet does it, alright? Please explain to me what James Gunn is doing wrong.
He's not directing anybody to do anything other than act retarded. Speaking of which, just case in point, look what they had David Cornsweet doing on set. And because James Gunn is a moron who's always online arguing with people, somebody asked him about Superman's budget and how much it needs to make to break even. And once again with the ad hominem attacks, James Gunn doesn't even address the issue. He just starts saying that you don't understand how a movie is made and you don't understand the film industry.
Okay, bro, are we reading the same tweet? When does James Gunn go on the attack and say, oh, if you don't understand Superman's budgeting issue, then you're a retard who doesn't understand the film industry? Like, he explains how it works, and you're like, oh yeah, James Gunn, he went on the attack.
You don't understand the difference, James Gunn, of being a normal, decent human being who tries their best, and being a sick bastard like yourself.
And you apparently don't seem to understand the concept of humor, because it's very obvious that these are jokes, alright? Clearly, alright? If you have, an IQ higher than 5, right? Speaking of humor, maybe put some in your videos, because goddamn, they are unbearable, bro. It's just you bitching at the camera about how this movie is woke, and it's trash, and it's this and that, bro, alright? Maybe if you had, a little humor or something like that in your videos, they would be much more bearable.
James Gunn knows absolutely nothing about superheroes or comic books. I'll just put that out there. He can bring up some knowledge and try to adapt some stuff he was given from a comic book, but you know nothing about Superman or Batman.
Okay, bro, actual criticism instead of just calling someone gay or autistic. That's something I can actually respond to with something of substance. That's good. Okay, so what was your criticism again? James Gunn doesn't know how to write comic book characters. That's interesting, because last time I checked, people said that James Gunn's movie was one of the most comic accurate movies, right? It's praised as one of the most comic accurate movies right after what you mentioned, Christopher Reeve's Superman, right? So I don't know what you're sitting here telling me, oh, James Gunn does not know how to properly adapt comic book movies. I don't know, man. I feel like he did it pretty well.
Even with Batman, if I was doing Batman, I could get into it. Like,
Yeah.
Batman's a maniac. So yeah, he puts on a scary bat costume and goes out and tries to scare people.
Keep him away from DC, Marvel, comic books, Superman, and especially Batman. Cause what the fuck are you talking about? Batman is a maniac who puts on a costume to scare criminals. I'd really get into that if I was doing Batman. People like this are a disease, and the only cure is, I don't know, a good right hook.
Alright, bro, well, can you please tell me how it's wrong, alright? Batman is a maniac who puts on a costume and scares criminals, alright? Not sure about the maniac part, but he says that the whole point of the bat costume is to scare criminals. Also, I don't know who the hell you think you are with the whole, the cure for these people is a good right hook. Buddy, I'm willing to bet that you can't throw a punch for shit.
And the people coping on here, fake fans of Batman and comic books, saying that if you're mad at this, you've succumbed to this propaganda about the Wayne family. You're speaking a big load of garbage. He's not a maniac, he never was, for a good 50 years. Just because some postmodernist writer comes in a brand new crappy movie or comic does not make it canon. Read any classic Batman comic, Denny O'Neil, watch Mask of the Phantasm, the best Batman movie ever made. Is Batman insane? I don't think so. He is not a maniac. Another spastic here. Actual Batman fans aren't mad at this at all. He's an effing maniac, and Bruce would admit that himself. Would he? Ever? Because I've never seen it. Did he do it in the Denny O'Neil run? Did he do it in any run out of the 80s by Alan Grant, John Wagner, I don't know, Doug Mensch? Did he do it at any point during the animated series? Or are you just a fake fan who needs to go screw themselves and just get a load of this shit that's been making the rounds? People are saying that he should direct a Spider-Man movie and, dear God, a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. Okay, so I'll make this quick. If you know nothing about TMNT, they're some of the most badass and underrated comic characters of all time.
Okay, he's not wrong. Alright, Ranting for Vengeance is actually correct on this one, because when it comes to most modern Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles media, it's pretty watered down, because in the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comics, the turtles were a lot more brutal they actually killed people. Like in the first issue, they just straight up killed Shredder.
You can check out my video on it if you want to get into the franchise. But even if you know just the smallest bit about it, you know that James Gunn should not be anywhere near it. Spider-Man is bad enough because he'd ruin everything about the character. He'd self-insert some gay crap. But Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I don't know who made this tweet, but you, my friend, are mentally handicapped.
Listen, man, I don't know why this guy keeps saying that James Gunn is a bad director, because all of James Gunn's projects do well, alright? People like Peacemaker, people like Suicide Squad, people like Superman, people like his projects, bro. That's why he's CEO of DC now.
And to finish off this video, James Gunn has announced the Superman Saga. What a stupid name. What is it with these pretentious bullshit directors like Matt Reeves who say it's the Batman Matt Reeves Saga? Who the hell wants that? People just want an entertaining Superman or Batman movie. We don't want the Brave and the Bold or the Superman Saga. We don't want the people making these movies crying on set, having big squeaky autistic bitch voices.
Bro, you are the last man who should be complaining about squeaky autistic bitch voices or whatever, right? Your voice is quite possibly one of the most grating things I've ever heard in my entire life.
Talking about kids in a really weird way. People just want a comic accurate Superman or Batman movie.
And we got one. What are you complaining about?
And the Matt Reeves Batman saga and all of these different sagas are none of that. And any real true comic book fan out there knows it. So if you agreed with anything I said in this video and you want to see more content like this, do let me know and maybe consider subscribing. And if you're part of the horde of gay retards out there who love James Gunn and this movie, go screw yourself and go complain to your boyfriend.
Oh, thank God it's over. I can finally rest. If you like this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, become a channel member, all that great stuff. Make sure to join my Discord server, link in the description. Comment of the week status goes to ShrewW3X, who simply says, good. And that's all. I'll see you guys next week. I'm out. Peace.